Okay, it's Kairos. Well, maybe it's almost Kairos. It's time to get into that batter's box. But you know, when you walk into the batter's box, what it makes you? It makes you a batter. And this is about hitting. Walking into the batter's box doesn't make you a hitter any more than going to Burger King makes you a hamburger. So we've got to find out, how do we become a hitter? And not just physically. We've got to be mentally a hitter in that batter's box so that our skill is not interfered with. That equation, A equals S minus I, achievement equals skill minus interference, this is where it really takes hold. We've got to make sure things don't interfere. One of the important things here is to have some type of routine. And I'm going to give you an example of one, but again, remember, we coach hitters, not teach hitting. And the same thing's true with mental skills. This is not the necessary routine for everybody. It's an example of a routine. And different players can certainly have different routines. I ask young ladies to imagine where would they go in their house when they want to be totally alone, when they want solitude, when they want to be by themselves. Because once you get into that batter's box, you want to be by yourself. There's a battle for control of the airspace over home plate between the batter, the hitter, and the pitcher. At that moment, it's not a team sport. It's tennis, singles, 1 versus 1, pitcher versus hitter. And so we want that hitter ready mentally, visually, and physically to attack that ball that she chooses to when it crosses home plate. How do we do that? We again ask her, where does she go at home when she wants to be alone? The answer typically is her room. And we say, what do you do when you get there? I close the door. And then I get on my bed, I get in the chair, I lean against the wall, I prop up here, I do whatever. And we ask her at that moment, are you thinking of others? Or are you being selfish? And the truthful answer is, she's being selfish, and that's okay. She went to her room to be by herself. That means a selfish moment. And at home plate, you want to have your selfish moments. I'm not sure what the Greek word is for selfish, but we want selfish kairos is what we're looking for. When she gets in her room at home, she closes the door. The same thing should happen in the batter's box. Open the door to the batter's box. Step in, close the door. Close the door to the outside world. It's too late for your mother to yell instructions, your coach to yell instructions, your father to yell encouragement, whatever the situation might be. It's too late for all of that. You close out the boyfriend, you close out the 43 that you made on the algebra test, you close out the fact that your dog died, you close out the fact that an airplane's flying over, you close out everything. You want to be left alone. So the first thought, the first part of the 3-part routine is the word me. When I get into that batter's box, I think of me, and I want to get comfortable, just like she did at home, on the couch, in the recliner, against the wall, on the bed in her room, whatever, she was getting herself comfortable. For hitters, that's called a stance. So the first thing you do is you step in the batter's box, think of me, and get my stance, get me physically ready like I want to be. The second part of the 3-part routine is to look out toward the pitcher, or to start some type of visual sequence. I may be looking at a focal point somewhere in the outfield fence. I may look to see where the fielders are, but at some point I'm going to come back to that pitcher with a soft focus. And eventually I have to be looking at the part of pitcher from which the ball is released. And so that's the 3rd part of this sequence. The first part was me, get me ready. The second part is find the pitcher. The 3rd part and the final part of hitting mentally and visually is ball. I basically just find the ball. And we're not into the visual part of hitting in this videotape, but we're looking at the point of release, the area of release, maybe a couple of feet in front of that area of release. Whatever our visual skills are, we're looking to see that ball. At that last moment, that moment of kairos, the only thought I have is ball. Now, if I do this, if I have me, pitcher, ball as my in-box routine, I'm not giving myself time for those interfering thoughts of fear and frustration and fatigue and stress and tension. So at home plate, have a routine. The me, the pitcher, the ball, similar to what's done when she locks the door to her bedroom. It's a selfish moment. It's kairos. It's time to attack that ball.